Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well during this humanity reboot. We're having a moment for a timeout. I think our Mother Earth thought this is a good time for the human race to take a little bit of a timeout. And as all loving mothers, she is here to support us and to help us grow into something even more beautiful and vibrant than we are as a society today. So over the course of this last few weeks, as everybody in the world is focused on the coronavirus and finances, all the things that are going along with this, how to reorganize their lives in this period of transition, I was told, so a friend of mine pointed out that there is a Saint Corona, and you may have already heard that by now too. And Saint Corona, I looked her up, and she is the saint of treasure hunts. And I feel like we are most definitely on a treasure hunt right now as we navigate the unknown and find new solutions and find the gems and the gifts in this path that's brought all of humanity together. As we separate and isolate, we're coming together. And I think that it's a time that we're moving into something really exciting, even with all the chaos and, of course, the compassion and the uncertainty and the desire for our loved ones to be safe. I'm also feeling a tremendous amount of excitement for what is to come, and that this is an ushering in of a lot of the things that we as a collective consciousness have been wanting to create for quite some time. So Saint Corona, as I have learned, is also known as a saint of money and gambling, which I think is quite interesting as well. I think it's interesting that there is a saint for that, and how saints who clearly have done something beautiful in their lives over the generations get pegged with these very bizarre symbols or tendencies, what people use them for when they pray to them. But I think that the disruption, I know in the United States, and I'm certain throughout the world from where you are, it's, this is causing the stock market to go crazy, which is a gamble in my view. And so I think it's interesting, and I found it very interesting that she is associated with these things as we move through this change. I've also heard that she's the saint of pandemics, but when I researched that, I couldn't find anything prior to 2020. So I'm not sure. I'm not going with that one because I don't know. But what happened is, once, of course, I connected with her, and if you're here on this channel, you probably know that my specialty is connecting with the spirit and bringing in messages. So when I heard about her, of course, I wanted to connect with her. And I have a membership group from people who have been through the Consciously Awesome program and our alumni. And that's where I go immediately when I get new information. And so I did a channel with them a few days ago, and I met Saint Corona, and I love her. It felt like coming home to someone who I had known. It was a different, you probably know by now too, that I've channeled a lot of different beings, and I love all of them. I mean, I get to know so many people on a soul level, which is incredible, or so many beings. But this one was very unique to me. It was really like feeling an old friend who I had no idea existed a few days before. So I wanted to come and bring a message to you from her as well, because everybody deserves to hear from Saint Corona. I'm going to do an opening prayer, and then I'm going to shift my attention to, I'll tell you what I see, and then let her bring the messages forward. If you're new to this channel and channeling is different or unusual for you, this is all I'm saying, is that I'm tuning in to this frequency that I believe is Saint Corona. And excuse me, that's funny, right? A cough on this video right now. I'm tuning into Saint Corona and bringing in a message. So if channeling is unusual to you, I don't need you to believe that that's what I'm doing. You can think that I'm just a creative who is using this energy as a muse, or you can think I'm crazy, but you're here, you're listening. So my suggestion is listen to the message. I don't think it's important as much as the process that I use, because every creative being does tune into higher consciousness and creative source energy in some way. So if it feels like fictional to you, that's fine, but get the message from it. And for those of you who, of course, are here because you love that I channel, then that isn't an issue at all. But I always just say, focus on the message and take with it what feels correct to you. So here we go. Dear God, Goddess, creator of all that is, Alpha, Omega, Enchanted One, Solara, Isis and Ra, Magdalene and Yezu, two feathers, all of the ascended master beings and angelic hosts, we give thanks. We completely surrender now into the vibration of all that is, drawing forth from this reflection those vibrations that are here to guide, support, and harmonize us and our collective consciousness in this moment, and make it thanks. As I tune into spirit, the very first image that I'm seeing is of our earth with lush green grass and vibrant flowers and snow-capped mountains and pristine skies. It's so beautiful and vibrant and full of life, almost to the point where it looks saturated in color like a cartoon. And I feel that our Mother Earth is asking us to envision this as we move forward, to spend as much time as we can connected to the trees and the plants and the animals, and to, whether even if we're inside, to just tune in and to look out the window, to say hello and to feel that connection, or to turn into meditation and imagine yourself in this vibrant new earth on the other side of all that we are walking through right now. And now I feel the energy of Saint Corona. As she approaches, she's this beautiful divine goddess energy with a long, deep green gown on, dark hair with red highlights, and eyes that are as soft as a doe's eyes. But they're beautiful emerald green. And as she approaches, I feel her turning outward to each one of you and placing her hand on your shoulder, looking you deep in the eye, and asking you to remember. I surrender myself now to include the vibration that I know as Saint Corona, that she may speak to you now in first person through me. My dear beloved ones, I understand the caution that you are experiencing, the uncertainty that you are experiencing in this moment. And with that, I and many beings of light place our hands upon your heart to give you peace. And we place our hands upon your lungs that you may breathe in the essence of love with every breath and release it into the world. Know that you are loved, and know that what is unfolding is a creation of the collective consciousness. And some may say to me, are you saying that we brought this upon ourselves, that we are being punished for that which we have created in the discord of earth and capitalism and separation And I say to you, no, that is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that we are together as one. We are in harmony with each other. You as the humanity and us as the divine beyond the physical. Those beings of light that once were on earth and those beings who were never on earth. We are in harmony with each other in our collective consciousness. When we refer to the collective consciousness, it is not only humanity, but humanity is the one portion of this ecosystem, this divine and intricate creation that believes itself to be separate from the others, and sometimes in battle. We have seen it over the many years in cancer. We see it in yourselves as you push against the flow of life. But there is not a moment that our love isn't in union with you, and our honor and our understanding of your path. What I am saying is that the human collective consciousness is in harmony with all of the consciousness. And in our collective harmony, we have concluded, at least in this moment in time, that this that is unfolding is the gentlest outcome for all of us to return to the harmonic union, to move forward, and to evolve into the fullness that we are meant to be. Humanity is an incredible gift, not only to yourselves, but to the world. And when humanity, the essence that is known as human, is in harmony with the natural world, creations and manifestations and miracles will abound. But we have been spinning out of sync and faster and faster and faster and faster and further away. But I would say to you that there, even in the furthest away, it is the closest to one. For all is one and all returns to one and always is one. So even in this frequency of expansion into the space that feels so distant, we are still coming together. We place our hand upon your heart and upon your lungs and upon your essence and your mind that you may be calm during this time. Know that those who are crossing are doing so in divine order and with the choice of their soul for the evolution of the human. That does not mean that we are not in favor of the doctors and all of you coming together to support the reduction and the flow of discord or chaos in the world. For that is exactly what we are in favor of. Slowing down, turning in, remembering that the community, the connectedness, the remembrance of your connection to the longest time and for the most generations. We know, as you do, that the world is spinning in a way, and we have said, and Sheila has said, that humanity will not destroy the earth will shake humanity off like fleas if she desires. And while that is true, because the bigness of all that we are together is beyond the form that we sometimes choose to be, which is human, it is not our intention or our plan to do that shaking. But perhaps we are just shaking a little to remind you, as the human consciousness is part of the whole, how would you like to evolve? Shall we wake up now? Now is the time to wake up. We are waking up. Humanity is waking up. And this is the boost of energy that will evolve the DNA, will evolve the consciousness into a state of harmony, which every soul has been desiring, even those that seem the most distant from you, the most different from you. Even those who seem to be desiring separation are in truth desiring community in their own way. For every soul is in desire of this. It is the how we get there that has created the discord. And yes, there is an essence of greed, an element of greed, an elemental, some would say, that is pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until we have this state which feels like an explosion and really is just a tiny tremor in what could have been. But that essence, that very essence, is part of what brought us here, part of what is allowing us to take this opportunity, which is not easy and came out of nowhere for many people, but has always been predicted in the essence of knowing that it is time now for us to have a massive, massive evolution of the mind and the heart and the soul, a consciousness rising, an understanding of community, that desire for us to come together beyond the lower forces that anchor us into the chaos, the confusion, and the dis-ease, to come together as a humanity and to vibrate in a way that many have dreamed of. This is our time. Yes, there will be some chaos, and yes, there will be some pain, and there always is, even now in this moment, as part of the human frequency. And even in this essence, we say to you, rest into the love and know that the love is bigger. And even this moment is a tiny fraction of the essence. And even in this moment, it is already complete, and we are already celebrating in the joy. So move through it, for you have chosen to be human in this time, and we honor you for that. For it is not an easy task, but many of you have prepared ahead and are ready and feeling the excitement, and do not suppress that in your essence, thinking that you should pull back because others do not understand. You can honor all of the levels of this consciousness at the same time with compassion. Stand in that truth and in that love. And for those of you who are feeling fear, reach out to those who are staying steady. And if it is those who are taking turns, if a loved one is taking turns in that, then support each other in that moment. We do not have to do this alone. We cannot do this alone. And we love you tremendously, and we are with you. We leave that with you now, and will return in conversation. But call upon you also to speak within your own heart to the divine beings who are supporting you in this moment, where we are here. I give thanks to the message. I give thanks to Saint Corona and the messages that she has brought through. And I leave them with you, and I hope that you find comfort in them. I welcome your responses. I welcome your sharing. If you think others will find comfort in them in this, go ahead and share. And if you have questions or would like more information or more exploration during this time, I'm happy to do more videos. So send me a little note at sheila@sheilaapplegate.com or reply in the comments. Much love to you, and may we evolve together in beauty.